my friends. Well, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here with me today. We are in the kitchen, but we're not cooking today. I'd like you to join me on an adventure on growing stuff. And so I wanted to start growing things. I've been watching all these videos where you could take, like, romaine lettuce and grow it back up, and celery and all that other stuff. So we're going to try that. And I also want to start with an herb garden because we love herbs in this house, and we're trying to slow down and be a little more self-sufficient, and obviously always healthy, you know that. So I hope you guys join me on this journey. I have a black thumb. My mom and my sister are amazing with gardens and growing things. I did not get that. So I struggle, but I am determined now to get some stuff growing and give it a try. It doesn't cost very much, to be honest. I bought a bag of organic potting soil. I'm actually going to start my herbs and stuff in old egg cartons. My husband does eat eggs, so we're using. And I do have a couple of bigger trays. This is what I've been using before. So on that one, in one of the thirds on that, I do my arugula. So if you haven't seen my video on sprouting, I'll link it up here. It explains everything. But today I am going to get some pea tendrils and some arugula. So there's two different ways. And again, this isn't an expensive thing to do. You can use any jar you want to. I'm just going to use a mason jar, and I'm going to do this one for the arugula seeds because I just kind of germinate them for a day kind of in water, and they plump up almost like chia seeds, and then I put them in on the soil so that they'll grow better. And then for pea tendrils, I do them in a jar, and all you need is a mesh and a jar with your ring. That's it. Very simple. You don't have to buy those expensive seeds and sprouting systems. I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it cheap. You can go and buy those things. Oh my God, Amazon has a ton of them. Feel free. But for me, I'm trying to go cheap and cheerful, and this is how I've been doing my sprouting anyway. So this I'm good at. The sprouting part I'm good at. It's the other stuff. So I just want to we're going to plant a bunch of stuff today. And just to show you I put in the bottoms of these green onions, actually before I went away to Mexico. And they're just sitting in water in a cup, nothing fancy, and they have already grown. So I can just snip and they'll just keep growing, which I think is fabulous. The other things that I have started was a celery, and I'm going to show you with the camera in a minute. Celery and a romaine and a leaf lettuce. Okay, and then I did have a red onion that was already starting to sprout, so I just stuck it in water just to keep it going because I needed to use that red onion. And then I'm going to replant that into some soil also. I did get just some seeds, and they do come with instructions. You can check the QR code and they'll tell you what to do with them because this girl needs a lot of help. So first, let's get our sprouts going. Just going to do the arugula. So we have our jar. Actually, sorry, we have our jar, the smaller jar, because the arugula seeds are just tiny, tiny, tiny. I'm going to do a teaspoon, and then I just keep everything together with my jars and my strainer sieve, whatever you want to call it. And then we're just going to add water to this one. I'm going to cover them with water. And then we're just going to leave that one overnight. Drain it in the morning. Not sure where my other netting went, but let me show you a trick. Let's keep it cheap and cheerful. I have done this before. Take your garlic. If it comes like that, we're going to reuse this. Simple and easy. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Anyway, you could still use this. Look how thin the sieve is. Sorry, look how thin the sieve is. And that's what I use as a backup. Now for the pea tendrils. And this time I think I'm going to grow them in the soil also. So I'm going to germinate them in here. for a couple of days, almost like I'm sprouting them. And then once they start to sprout, I am going to transfer them over to the soil. And again, I have this one. I love these because I have a couple of these and they stack. So you can stack them on top of each other and they take up less space. Let me zoom you out. They take up less space and you can do. I just need to add a little fresh into this. So one side will be arugula, the other side will end up being the pea tendrils. So I'm going to add water to this guy too. And what you do when you want to sprout is that you're just soaking them in water. So for the first soak, it's for 8 hours. So tomorrow or later tonight, I'll rinse these. So those are done for now. We're just gonna leave them. And they don't need sunshine at this point. They're fine just on your counter. I always leave mine by the sink so I don't forget to switch the water out a couple of times a day because I usually keep them in my back room and then I totally forget. And again, I'm just doing this by the seat of my pants. So thank you for joining me. So I'm just going to start filling up some of these 8 cartons. And this plastic one, as much as I dislike plastic, this plastic one is actually awesome because I can cover it up. It'll act as like a hothouse. My goodness. Okay. So we are just going to add soil. This one I'll have to put it in something plastic so it doesn't leak everywhere. I think I'm gonna grab another one. I'm trying to decide all of what I'd like to plant. All right, so we have our trays prepared and I have a bunch of tongue depressors and I'm going to use them actually to, oh, you know what? Maybe I won't. I think once I transplant them, I'll use the tongue depressors, but for now, I think I'm just gonna mark on the inside what they are. Okay, so I've got this, which is a garden pack, grow your own herbs, sowing and growing instructions included, 12 seed packs, 15,000 seeds. Surely I can get something to grow. So what's in here is a dark opal basil, which is great, chamomile, chives, coriander, creeping thyme, dill, garden cress, marjoram, lemon balm, I'm excited about that one, oregano, parsley, and sage. So those are a lot of what I already use and nothing beats fresh. So we are going to do the basil, the chives, some coriander, definitely thyme. I'm not sure about dill because dill gets so big. And I don't know if that's really good for an indoor garden. Lemon balm for sure, oregano, probably the parsley and the sage. So let's just see what it says. Creeping thyme. And then if you take your phone and you do the bar, you do the QR code, it will tell you. And they have a whole bunch. This is called Garden Pack. That's the actual name of it. And they have a whole bunch of different seed boxes. Oh, that one looks really nice. I wish I had more room for that. Oh my goodness, yes. But grow your own veggies, grow your own herbs, a variety pack of different sizes, an Italian cuisine seed pack, which would be little bonsai trees, flowers, really good. Anyway, I digress. Let me go over to grow your own herbs. And then I'm going to look up, what did I say that was, thyme? And then it tells you, I don't know if you can see that. It tells you how deep to make it, how to plant it, what kind of sun it needs, 4 of the time, I think. Because we're gonna put more than one seed in. You're supposed to put more than one seed in so that you could see what's going to grow faster. So let me get a marker. So I'm just gonna mark on the inside of the box, I should say. So we have this one. So we're gonna do some thyme and we're gonna do some sage. So it says to plant it 1/2 centimeter. I always have chopsticks. So I'm going to, and I think, oh, it's damp enough, I think. Okay. And then if you have like little chunks, just work them out or put them back in. They can go in when you're planting bigger stuff. Okay. So we're just going to plant a few seeds. Okay. Because these seeds are so tiny, I put them in just something smaller that I could work with. Then the next two we're going to do is sage. And I like that these are paper, so they're compostable and they're easier to store. Again, see how small they are. So these ones are a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so here we go with sage. Let me know in the comments down below, what kind of things do you grow at home? What do you have the most success with? And please you can be brutally honest. Oh, I don't know if I want you to be brutally honest, but please give me pointers and tips on what I'm doing and anything I should change. I appreciate it. I'm really going to give this a go. The other thing I did get, even though we have 40 feet of or more of windows, we don't always get direct sun. So, and that seems to be a problem, especially in the winter time. So I actually just went on Amazon. I got a very inexpensive grow light, and I'm hoping that's going to help. So they'll be able to get light all day, even when it's snowing and yucky and whatever. So I'm hoping that will work. Okay, I'm back to planting. I'm going to finish planting my seeds, and then I'll plant the onion and stuff, and then we'll go from there. All right, the other thing I'm going to do is plant that red onion. So let me just, now according to some of the videos I watched, so I'm going to do my arugula here and my pea tendrils here. I'm going to do this with the onion, and it basically just said to plant it under the earth, which I'm going to do, make a nice little hole for it, and then I'm going to put it in the earth, cover it up, give it a little water, and we're going to see if that works. Yes, we are. So we're done for this section now. We're just going to have to wait. Oh, we're going to wait till tomorrow and then plant our arugula once they've all puffed up and germinate a little bit. And then we're just going to keep rinsing twice a day with our pea tendrils until they start sprouting, and then we can plant them. But I'm also going to leave some in the jar and just grow them like that because they're still delicious that way, but I'd like to get higher tendrils. So thank you for joining me for now. I'm going to, the next part will be when something starts growing or happening. Or tomorrow we'll do a little bit of rinse and repeat on our sprouting. And again, don't forget I have a great video and I'll attach it here. All right, good morning. We are back with our plant. So I have just been rinsing my pea twice a day, and they are just starting to sprout a tiny little tail, which was what we want them to do. So I'm just going to keep rinsing and draining twice a day. And then for our arugula, as you can see, we have a lot. All right, can you see that? They're all kind of like chilled, which is exactly what we want. And then I'm just going to pour them over the soil and spread them all out the best I can. Perfect. And then we're just going to cover them back up with just a little bit of soil on top, not a lot. They're going to poke out in a day or two, and they'll be ready in like less than a week. There we go. So we're just going to leave those. We're not going to pat them. All right. Here is our celery. Here is our celery growing. Look how cute that is. And then over here we have our romaine and some leaf lettuce. Now, look at that. It's Tuesday. So this is 3 days later, and this is my arugula sprouts. Look how gorgeous those are. And they're going to keep growing and growing. Very excited. So far, nothing from our seeds yet, but that's okay. We're going to give them some more time. I think the grow light is really helping. So just an update, these are my herbs. They're finally starting to come through. Some are doing better than others, but we're giving them all time. These guys over here too. I actually transplanted the celery and the lettuces. I think this is the romaine and that's like a leaf lettuce or whatever, but we'll see how they do. And again, I'm going to have some of my rocket this weekend and add it to my salads and my sandwiches. So that's where I'm going to leave it for planting my stuff, and in between I'll give just some short updates on how things are going and what I've learned, anything like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you come grow with me, and we'll see you guys in the next video.